Hi everyone, in this tutorial I'll show you how to make the Don't Break My Heart teddy. You can also make the teddy on its own, but I'll also take you through how to make the heart. You'll need some yarn. I'm using the teddy color in Parfait Chunky, a 5mm hook, some black scrap yarn, a scissors, tapestry needle, stitch marker, 8mm safety eyes, and stuffing. And to make the heart, I'm using the poppy shade, a hot glue gun, and 5mm magnets. Before we start crocheting, I wanted to talk about today's sponsor, Craftsy. Craftsy is an online community for creative makers, and it's such a great resource if you love learning new skills. They have over 2,000 step-by-step classes in categories like crochet, knitting, sewing, painting, and even cooking. I had to go and check out the crochet classes and found this cute granny square heart pattern, and it was honestly so easy to learn. If you guys want to try out Craftsy, be sure to use the link in my description, and the first 1,000 people to use that link will get the full year of premium for only $149. Thank you again, Craftsy, for sponsoring today's video, and let's get started crocheting. We will start off by making the arms, and we will first do 8 single crochets into the magic ring for round 1. For the next 2 rounds, we will just do a single crochet in each of the 8 stitches that we made in round 1. For round 4, we will do a pattern of 2 single crochet decreases 2 times. So in the first 2 stitches we will do 2 single crochets, and in the third and fourth we will do a decrease. And that way we will just have to repeat the pattern twice to reach the stitch marker. For the next 2 rounds, we will just do single crochets in each of the 6 stitches. We can now lightly stuff our arm. Make sure not to stuff too much because we want the arm to kind of hang loosely around the teddy bear. So yeah, just put a little bit of stuffing and we will close the arm up afterwards. We will now fold our arm, and we should have 6 single crochets. and we will just take our hook through the 2 lined up and do a single crochet through them. So that's the first one, and then we will line up the second 2, and that's the second single crochet and the third one, and that should fully close off our arm. And then we'll just do a chain 1 to secure and cut off a short tail, because we will just put this tail into the teddy's body, so we don't really need to weave it in. After you're done with that, go ahead and make another one before moving on to the legs. For the legs, for round 1, we will also do 8 single crochets into the magic ring. For round 2, we will do a pattern of single crochet increase 4 times, which will increase our stitch count to 12. For the next 2 rounds, we will just do single crochets into each of the 12 stitches. For round 5, we will do 4 decreases and 4 single crochets. So in the first 8 stitches, we will do 4 decreases, and then in the remaining 4, just 4 single crochets. This will bring our stitch count down to 8. For round 6, we will just do single crochets into the 8 stitches. We can now stuff our leg and try to stuff mostly to the bottom of the leg, mainly before we did the 4 decrease 4 single crochet round. This will give the teddy's leg a upward direction. For round 7, we will do 2 single crochet decreases 2 times, and this will bring our stitch count down to 6. We can now fold and do 3 single crochets across, similarly like we did for the arms, to close off the legs. And after you're done with this, make another one of the legs before we move on to the teddy's head and body. For the head, we will start off by doing 8 single crochets into the magic ring. For round 2, we will do an increase in each of the 8 stitches, which is basically just doing 2 single crochets into the same stitch, and this will increase our stitch count to 16. For round 3, we will just do single crochets into each of the 16 stitches. For round 4, we will do a pattern of single crochet increase 8 times, which will increase our stitch count to 24. For the next 4 rounds, we will just do 24 single crochets all around. So go ahead and do that, and I will see you at the end of round 8. Before we move on, we can add our safety eyes. I'm using 8mm safety eyes and I'm placing them between round 6 and 7 and keeping 3 stitches between them. For round 9, we will do 2 single crochet decreases 8 times and this will drop our stitch count to 18. For round 10, we will do single crochet decrease 6 times, which will drop our stitch count to 12. We can now stuff our teddy's head and make sure to stuff firmly so it keeps its shape. Before we move on to round 11, make sure that where we're starting the next round is in the middle of the safety eyes. This will just ensure that we have the arms and legs positioned in the right place. For round 11, we will do 2 single crochets first. So that was the first one and this is the second. And then we will take our arm and single crochet 3 through them. So we will go through the 3 stitches that we left on the arm to close it off and just pick that and the head and single crochet both together. After we're done attaching the first arm, we will do 3 more single crochets to reach the position of the second arm. So that's the first, second, and third. And we will take our second arm and single crochet 3 through them, similarly like we did the first. And after you're done attaching the arm, we can just do 1 more single crochet to reach the stitch marker before we begin round 12. After you're done with that, make sure you're happy with the arms position. Otherwise, go ahead and redo round 11, however you prefer to place the arms. And then we will just take the loose ends from the arms and tie them together just to secure it a little bit more. For round 12, we will do 2 single crochet increase 4 times, and this will increase our stitch count to 16. For round 13, we will just do single crochets all around the 16 stitches. For round 14, we will do single crochet increase 8 times, and this will increase our stitch count to 24. For round 15, we will just do 24 single crochets all around. For round 16, we will make our tail, and to do that first we'll do a single crochet and then do a bubble stitch, and we will do a 4 double crochet bubble stitch. So that's the first unfinished double crochet, this is the second unfinished, and third and fourth. We basically just want to keep unfinishing double crochets till we have 5 loops on the hook, and then we can pull through all of them. And then just continue doing 22 single crochets till you reach the end of the round. For round 17, we will be attaching our legs. So first we'll do 10 single crochets before we attach our first leg. After you're done with the 10 single crochets, take your leg and make sure it's pointing upwards, but when you single crochet through it, you'll just have the leg pointy bit facing towards the body. But after you're done single crocheting through them, it should point upwards when you straighten out the leg. After you're done attaching your first leg, make sure that the pointy bit is facing upwards, otherwise you may have crocheted your leg onto in the wrong direction. Before we attach the second leg, we'll single crochet 1 and then attach the second leg by doing 3 single crochets through the body. Once you're done attaching both legs, you'll just need to do 7 single crochets to reach the stitch marker. We can now tie the loose ends from our leg, and after we do that, we can also stuff our body and make sure to stuff it firmly so that it sits up by itself without any support. For round 18, we will do single crochet decrease 8 times, and this will drop our stitch count to 16. You can add an extra stuffing before we do the last round of our body. For round 19, which is our last round, we will just do 8 decreases all around, which will drop our stitch count to 8. We can now cut a long tail, which we will use to close our teddy with the tapestry needle. We will now make the ears for our teddy, and for round 1 we will do 6 single crochets into the magic ring. For round 2, we will do single crochet increase 3 times, which will increase our stitch count to 9. After finishing round 2, we will just do a slip stitch into the next stitch, and then we will cut off a long tail which we'll use to sew onto the head of our teddy. Go ahead and make another one of these ears as well before we move on to making the muzzle. To make the muzzle, we will start off by chaining 3, and to do that we will first do a slip knot and then do 3 chains. So that's the first, second and third, and then we will go into the second chain and do a single crochet. And then we will do 3 single crochets into the last chain, which is also our turning chain. And then we will just repeat the same on the other side. So we will do a single crochet in the middle stitch and then do 3 single crochets on top. And then to close off, we will just do a slip stitch in the next stitch, and leave a long tail which we will use to sew onto our teddy's head. We will now take some black scrap yarn to embroider the nose for our teddy, and you can follow along how I'm doing it to get the look that I have on my teddy, but if you have a preferred way to embroider your nose, just go ahead and do that as well. I'm now using pins to mark where I want to sew the muzzle onto the head. It's just between round 7 and 9, and just placing the pins where I think it would look good. So if you want, you can try follow along where I'm placing my pins before you sew it on. Otherwise, you can also just estimate and just start sewing. After you're done sewing, I like to place a knot nearby where I've done the sewing just to secure it a bit more, and then I just weave the ends back into the body. You can now attach the ears as well, and I like to place them between round 3 and 5, and I'm just using pins to mark it as well, just so it helps me remember where to sew them on. So go ahead and do that, and I'll see you at the end of sewing the ears. Your teddy is all done now. You can stop here if you like, or we can continue with making the hat. So for round 1 of the hat, we will do 11 single crochets into the magic ring, and make sure not to close the magic ring fully so that we have space to attach the magnet in the middle. For round 2, we will start by doing a slip stitch into the first stitch, and then we will do chain 2 and then double crochet into the same stitch, and then we will do a double crochet into the next stitch, and then single crochet into the next 3 stitches, and then do a chain 1 and a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then a chain 1 again and single crochet into the next 3 stitches, and then double crochet into the next 2 stitches, and chain 2 and do a slip stitch into the same stitch. And that's your hat done. Leave a long tail which we will use to close our hat. So go ahead and make one more of these hats before we start gluing the magnet. I'm just using hot glue to glue this magnet on, but I'm sure some other form of glue might work as well. But yeah, just take some glue and place it at the back of the hat, and just take the yarn tail to kind of press down on the magnet so that it pops out on the other side. But make sure not to pop it too much, because we do want the magnet to stick in the middle but also show through the other side. Go ahead and do this for the other hat as well before we start closing our hats. To close the hats, I'm just using a tapestry needle and sewing through both the sides. So first fold the hat in half and make sure that the magnet is still glued on. And then just take the inside loops of the stitch. So we don't want to pick both the loops, just the ones that are on the inside, and go through all of the corresponding ones till you reach the bottom of the hat. Once you're done with that, you can hide the remaining tail into the hat. Once you're done closing off both your hats, you can sew it onto the teddy arms, and I sewed mine between round 2 and 3 of the arms, but you can play around with the position that you like, and you can also just hot glue it onto the arms if you find that easier. But I'm just using a similar color thread to the hat so that it doesn't show too much. That's it, your Don't Break My Heart teddy is complete. I have so much fun breaking and mending the heart. I just keep doing that again and again, and it's so funny to me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you love your teddies, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!